In the annals of history, few names evoke the profound tragedy of potential squandered, as does Jeroboam, the king whose legacy became a byword for idolatry and rebellion. Jeroboam's story begins in obscurity, a hard-working and capable man from the tribe of Ephraim. His industrious nature catches the attention of King Solomon, who appoints him to oversee the labor force of the house of Joseph. This position gives Jeroboam insight into the growing grievances and dissatisfaction among the people concerning Solomon's policies, particularly the heavy labor and high taxes imposed on the Israelites to support his extensive building projects, including the temple in Jerusalem. One fateful day, while on a journey, Jeroboam encounters the prophet Ahijah. In a dramatic gesture, Ahijah tears his new garment into 12 pieces and gives 10 to Jeroboam, prophesying that he will rule over 10 tribes of Israel. Ahijah also conveys a crucial warning from God: if Jeroboam remains faithful to God's commandments, walks in his ways, and does what is right in his eyes, God will establish Jeroboam's dynasty just as he did for David. This promise of a lasting dynasty is contingent on Jeroboam's faithfulness and obedience to God. Upon learning of Ahijah's prophecy, King Solomon perceives Jeroboam as a potential threat to his dynasty, prompting him to seek Jeroboam's life. To escape Solomon's wrath, Jeroboam flees to Egypt, finding refuge with Pharaoh Shishak. Here, he bides his time, waiting for the opportune moment to return and fulfill his destiny. Upon Solomon's death, Jeroboam returns from exile. The northern tribes, dissatisfied with Rehoboam's refusal to lighten the heavy burdens imposed by Solomon, rally around Jeroboam. When the people appeal to Rehoboam for relief, he harshly refuses, declaring,
"My father made your yoke heavy, but I will add to your yoke."
This rejection incites the 10 northern tribes to revolt, making Jeroboam their king. Jeroboam establishes his capital at Shechem and later fortifies Penuel. His reign over the northern kingdom of Israel begins with great promise. However, his fear of losing control drives him to make fateful decisions. To prevent his people from returning to Jerusalem and the Davidic king, Jeroboam sets up golden calves in Bethel and Dan. He declares,
"Hear your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt,"
leading Israel into grievous sin and idolatry. This act directly violates the covenant he was sworn to uphold, showcasing his distrust in God's promise. A man of God from Judah arrives at Bethel and prophesies against Jeroboam's altar, predicting its destruction. When Jeroboam orders his arrest, his hand withers but is restored upon his plea for mercy. Despite this miraculous event, Jeroboam does not turn from his sinful ways. Trouble visits Jeroboam's household when his son falls gravely ill. In desperation, he sends his wife, disguised, to consult Ahijah. Despite her disguise, the prophet recognizes her and foretells a dire prophecy. Upon her return home, their son will die, and the Lord will raise up a new king over Israel, who will destroy Jeroboam's house. The prophet declares that every male in Jeroboam's family will be cut off, and their bodies will be eaten by dogs and birds, signifying complete annihilation due to Jeroboam's sins. Jeroboam's reign is marred by relentless conflict with the southern kingdom of Judah. His efforts to secure his kingdom are fraught with challenges, internal strife, and the haunting echoes of prophetic warnings. The curse on his house is fulfilled when Bahasha of the house of Issachar rises against Jeroboam's son Nadab, killing him and annihilating Jeroboam's lineage as prophesied. After a tumultuous 22-year reign, Jeroboam dies, succeeded by his son Nadab. However, Nadab's reign is short-lived, and Jeroboam's entire household is wiped out, fulfilling the prophetic curse. His legacy is a cautionary tale of a leader who, despite great potential, led his nation into idolatry and set a precedent for future kings' transgressions. The sins of Jeroboam become synonymous with leading Israel into sin, forever tarnishing his name. Jeroboam's life is a poignant reminder of how fear and ambition can lead even the most promising leaders astray, casting long shadows over their legacy and the generations that follow. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more epic tales.